I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eric, this is Brad. We are bringing you the 73rd episode of the Eric and Brad Show, which we're very excited about. It's a beautiful Saturday. It's, right after Halloween. We're sliding into Thanksgiving, the back end of the holiday stretch, or the middle end of the holiday stretch. Brad's super excited about it. It's just a fantastic day. Glad you're here with us. How's Bradley doing this morning?
Good.
We have an audio problem? You're looking confused over there. Oh, I'm fantastic.
No, I'm good.
I am fantastic. We came up with this. We're going to make a little baby shirt. So we're going to get a little baby hat. And it's going to say, Make America Great Again. A little baby hat. Okay. And then the little onesie that's going to be on the baby, it's going to say, Grab him by the titties. You like that?
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Oh, come on.
Come on. Christmas present. Yeah, I drank some eggnog yesterday.
Whoa, getting in the
Nice and
whoa,
chilly.
that's a little too festive for Brad. Go take it back to the store.
It's in the store and I love it. I fucking love
Oh,
eggnog.
you like eggnog? That's the one thing in the holidays that puts a cheer on your face, smile on your face?
Yeah, it goes in the pros list for the holidays. Jesus, I can't believe we're in the holidays.
I know.
God.
I know. Felt like it was just summer, like a few weeks ago.
I know. Fuck this craziness.
And now we're here. I got another one for you. Why did the guy fall into the well?
I don't know why.
Because he couldn't see that well.
Nice. That's a good one.
We got a grumpy Brad? Are we not quite awake yet? You have to be awake. It's like 11 o'clock or something your time.
11:30. I know my fucking sleep schedule is all fucking jacked off.
Oh.
Fucking. It's just I felt like I had like a three week run of no relax time. So as soon as I got off work on Wednesday, I was like, I'm just gonna be a lazy pile of shit for like 48 hours, and that's what I've been doing. The house is a complete disaster, and I've probably watched like 12 movies in the last 2 days, and just trying not to leave the house and do nothing. But I think that time is basically over with, and now it's time to start being productive again.
Yeah. Well, every once in a while, you gotta do that. You gotta be a little lazy. I've been doing that for like a month now. Today is the day. We gotta kick her into overdrive. Start cleaning some shit. Shit's getting out of control around here. I got leaves piling up everywhere. I'm hating it. God,
Pandemonium.
fuck it. It is pandemonium. Kitty litter box. Fuck. The last few days, I keep walking by like, oh shit, we need to go to the store and get some kitty litter. This isn't good.
Yeah. But I'm starting to feel that anxiety about my next trip coming up here.
Oh no. Fuck.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah. This one's the California, right?
Yeah, in like 4 weeks from 2 days ago.
4 weeks from 2 days ago. So that's the week after Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, we're going to have some interesting ones coming up because Christmas lands on a Saturday.
Oh, does it?
So that's going to be how we're going to do that one. You don't even care about the holidays, so you're going to be like, I'm sitting here waiting for you, Eric.
Where you at? No, we can totally skip that. I'll be working on Christmas. So, but that's far away.
Well, what's Bradley got? What's in the news? What's hot? What's popping?
Well, crypto's been doing good.
Is it above 62,000?
I believe so.
No,
it's probably. I think it's right about 60.
Yeah, it's been sitting there for a minute, like 2 weeks. It seems like.
Oh, which I just love. I love it.
Which you just love. Well, how do you feel about all the other ones? Because there's been a lot of...
Yeah, it's at 60,000.
I feel like I've heard a lot more talk about all the other cryptocurrencies over Bitcoin lately.
Well,
you've heard the obviously the Squid Game one, which I don't even understand that, and then the Shibu Inu or whatever the fuck that one is. That one exploded, right? And everyone's like, "Oh, it's blah." And then didn't Ethereum also do really well? Fucking.
Well, yeah, everything's doing well. It's just we're coming up, and like I said 2-3 months ago, just about January, everybody get ready to sell. If you are, if that's what you want to do, you get ready to sell about January. That's what I'm planning on. So November, December are going to be good, and come about January, February, we're going to see I think we're going to see a pretty decent decline. I wouldn't call it a crash, but pretty decent. It's gonna be the end of the good run that we're having. So
where does this prediction come from? What's your logic?
Just off history.
Is it an annual thing? It does it on the first quarter or something like that every year?
No, it's like a 4-year. It's like a 4-year.
Oh, you're on a 4-year history thing. Okay.
So
and you've narrowed it down to January.
Yeah.
Is it based on the time of the year, or is it based on something else?
No, just the cycle. It's based on the cycle.
Just what it's done. It doesn't matter. The timeline really has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's like, December has been historically November, December historically has been the best, and January, February has historically been when the bull market, as they call it, comes to an end, and that's happened twice in a 4-year cycle. So like 2013, 2017, or something like 28. It was January 2018, so I guess it was January 2014. And now we're going to be dealing with January 2022. So it happens in cycles. So
dips aren't just for chips.
Yeah, buy the dips.
Buy the dips.
So November, December is going to be great, and then get ready to sell.
If there's one thing you've taught me about crypto, it's that dips just ain't for chips. If there's one thing I've taken out of here, it's dips ain't for chips. Ain't just for chips.
No. Don't be afraid. Don't fear the Reaper.
Don't fear the Reaper.
And I don't mean to flex too hard on anybody, but
flex.
I said before, I don't know if I said on here, but I've been saying to people I was planning on being debt free by February. That got moved way up to a week or two from now. I'll be debt free.
Nice.
And I don't really know how to. No. I just don't really know how to feel about it, but I'm going to have to then set some new goals for myself after that. And it's also going to make me really scared to ever get back into any debt. And that might be a unhealthy thing because sometimes
it actually is an unhealthy thing. You need debt accounts. As far as credit scores are.
Well, yeah.
If you just go debt free, your credit score will just keep going down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because credit's just based off how you manage debt.
Yes. So you don't want to be. I mean, it's a weird.
Oh, I'm gonna be debt free.
That's a weird little realm to be in because you've talked to some. I have some people in my life that are crazy advocates for zero debt, no debt, fuck debt, credit's a scam, blah blah blah. That's all a big fucking scam, and. Because I've been told, if you have enough money in the bank, not enough to buy a house, but if you have enough money in the bank, when you go to a lender and they check your credit score and they're like, hey, you have no credit, blah, blah. I guess the dude I was talking to, and he owns a house, he's like, that's bullshit. He's like, you can absolutely get loaned money on a house. Yeah. He's like, if you show that you have money in the bank, you show, records of how much money has been in the bank, employment history, credit score don't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And
that's what Dave Ramsey says too.
Dave Ramsey. Who's Dave Ramsey? Why does that sound familiar?
It's like a money advice, financial advice guy.
Okay.
Pretty big guy. Radio show.
Okay.
Kind of old school guy. But my credit score can take a hit. I'm not worried. I just want to be debt free. That's been my goal for years and years and years. So I'm gonna hit that goal. And then we're gonna just see what happens after that. I mean,
is there
Then what do I
no
do?
plans on big purchases? No house yet
No.
in the cards? Not thinking about a house?
no. Probably buy more metals. I don't know.
I don't know why you
But I'll be
wouldn't.
debt free.
I don't know
I'll be
why you
debt free
wouldn't
with
buy
a
a house.
2019 car, which is pretty crazy.
The car one is very exciting.
Yeah.
That's very, very exciting.
And the student loan is,
I really-
is really exciting.
I still really think you should buy a house. I think it's just silly not to.
Where?
Anywhere.
No, not anywhere. Not
Anywhere.
here. I'm not buying a house here. No.
Well, no, buy one in Sandpoint and then give it to a property management place, and then you just have a fucking house.
Well, yeah, I'd rather do that. I don't want to buy a house here because I want to be able to fucking bug out whenever I want to and never come back.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. Get a fucking duplex in fucking Kootenai or some shit like that, and just give it to a property management place. They fucking take 10% of the profit. Bam. You're just sitting there and you own a house.
Yeah. We'll see.
That should be the goal. Get some. You got your gold. You got your fucking Chibu in you or whatever the fuck that cryptocurrency's called. You gotta get some property. Get some property that you can stand on and be like, this is my goddamn property.
Yeah. Because I believe in, like, you know, stocks, crypto, cash, and property.
Yeah.
Just
and
keep
now
it with
you're
those four.
missing one of the holy
I am
Trinity
missing one.
plus one, whatever you want to call that.
Yeah, and I think I was going to do it this morning. Because Black Rifle Coffee Company just went public, and I was going to buy some stock. I think I still have 200 in my E-Trade. I was going to buy Black Rifle Coffee.
There you go. There you
But-
go. That's probably a good investment.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that. Yeah. I don't know. If I was debt free, that would be my next goal. Is like we need to get some property.
Get into debt.
Just get some. We need some debt in this bitch.
It's going to be nice. I'm excited.
That feeling you have of being debt free. Imagine that same feeling, but with property. That's like my boner goal is to get to a point where I can step on a piece of property or a house and be like, I own this outright. Like no fucking bank can touch this as long as I pay my property taxes. Y'all can go fuck yourselves. This is my goddamn. That'd be the most glorious. I couldn't imagine owning a house, like outright owning a house where it's like, oh, all I owe is $2,000 a month, or $2,000 a year to fucking pay off my property taxes. You just go work at Home Depot. You know what I mean? Just like, fuck it, dude. I don't give a shit. $2,000 a year. I'm just gonna live my life out. This is my property. Get out of here.
I mean, I will someday.
Yeah.
You will too.
Yeah. But the faster I think you get on that property train, the faster you're going to get to that point. Because that point for me is nowhere in sight. That is way where I get my binoculars out. I see a cane walking down like, yeah, I own my house. My fucking back's all fucked up because I won't go to a chiropractor.
Yeah. I'll do it. I'll do it with crypto.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me one more market cycle and I'll fucking have it. You know what I mean? 4 years from now. Sell in January and then rebuy in like May. 4 years from now. Oh yeah.
Straight to the moon. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I need to get way more on that train. Way more on that train.
I don't think you have the stomach for it.
I don't. It's not the stomach for it. It's the everything burns a hole in my pocket is the real problem.
Yeah.
That's the real problem.
Uh-huh.
So the other night, man, I don't even remember what I was doing the night before, but I was obviously really drunk. Oh, we went to a company party for my girlfriend's company.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, all they had was the Sessions was the lowest beer they had. You know what I mean? And Sessions is still kind of like it's not like a piss beer. It is. It's a lager, but it's still a little heavier than that. And
Okay.
More heavy than what I want to drink when I'm out and about. I want to keep it light because it's nice to keep light beer. You know what I mean? Drink a few beers, I can keep going. Drink a few beers, I can keep going. If I have 3 Sierra Nevadas, it's like we need to go home. You know what I mean? Like this isn't getting good around here. So whatever, drinking sessions, hanging out, big old company party. They like rented out this farm, had a big bonfire and stuff going on. I come back home, get online for a little bit, hammer drunk, playing video games till like midnight, go to bed, wake up in the morning, and like, head was all splitting in two. I was like, oh man, this sucks. And then like looking around the bed, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And there's fucking crumbs everywhere in the bed. And I pull open the cover, and there's just a fucking bagel sitting in the bed. I had gotten drunk, ate half a bagel, and then passed out.
Jesus.
Real degenerate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jesus.
So I've been banned from eating food in the bed anymore. Not allowed.
Good.
She told me I'm not allowed.
I used to eat a lot of food in my bed. Now I don't eat any food in my bed.
Yeah?
Yeah, because like
you woke up too many times with bagels in your bed?
Yeah. No, because like when you live with other people, you have like your TV in your room and stuff, and that's where you like hang out mostly. But
yeah, you don't want to hang out with those heathens.
Yeah, now there's no TV in my room. It's just the bed.
Oh, you don't have a TV in your room?
No, I'm against it.
Why?
Just because I read something once that said like you shouldn't do stuff like that in your bed because you got to train your mind that like when you go in there and lay down, then it's like sleep time. So I just have the TV in the living room and no TV in the bedroom.
I get it. I do like having a TV in the bedroom though. I hardly ever use it. I used to watch a lot more TV in bed.
Yeah.
And I don't do that anymore. Main thing being the baby in the room. You can't have a goddamn TV on because you don't want to wake the goddamn baby up. So that's kind of put a shit on TV in the bed. But I will say I really enjoy, and I don't do it very often, maybe once a month I'll do it, is like a Sunday morning. You wake up and just, I don't know, just turn the TV on, go get a cup of coffee, and then just get back into bed and just do that for an hour. It's great. It's a great way to start a Sunday. Great. Yeah, just all cozy, blankets on, laying down, watching your show. Sun's out, beating through the window. It's a great. I feel. Let's stop this episode right now. I'm going back to bed.
I feel a lot of people do need it to like fall asleep, but I can't fall asleep when like the TV's on. Because I'll just be. My brain is like paying attention to it.
It's funny. I feel like I used to argue what you just said. I was like, no, I need the TV to fall in bed. But that's bullshit because I switched out of that. And I will say when the TV's on, definitely the percentage of nights I have that are, harder for me to go to bed is definitely increased when the TV's in the room. Yeah, if you just have something. But, I mean, 80% of the time I can have the TV on and just out. Like, no fucking problem. But there's definitely certain nights where my brain will be like, halfway awake and I'll be sitting there and like the TV will just say something like 2 minutes in and then I'll like turn and look at the TV. You know what I mean? Like it catches my attention and like, what's going on here? But I definitely, high school years and probably up until I was too poor to have a TV in my room was definitely TV on all night long. It was like my nightlight, just having a TV there.
I mean, it's crazy. Up until like 4 years ago, I only watch stuff in my room.
But
so now I'm just appreciating the other side of it and just having the whole house to myself.
It's ridiculous. And honestly, it's gotten to a point around my house that I don't even know what's happened. It's just out of control. We have TVs everywhere. And the other day I was about to put a TV in my daughter's room and Cheyenne's like, she is not getting a TV in her room. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with all these fucking TVs? There's just TVs everywhere. So we have a TV now hung in the kitchen. So when you're cooking, you can watch TV. But it was like, well, I just got too many TVs. I'm not going to throw the TV away. And I need more.
And you said
I need more TVs.
In like a couple weeks, in a couple weeks you're gonna go to Black Friday and fight people for
and
50
fight
inch.
people for we need another monitor because the girl likes using my monitor, and so now the monitor's been moving in and out of the house every goddamn night, that's not a good system. You can't do that. So now we need another TV. There's fucking TVs everywhere. TVs everywhere.
Do you like? Oh, Jesus Christ!
I have a TV in the garage. Living room, bedroom, kitchen, and then
Why?
computer monitor. TVs, they're coming. They're growing on trees around here.
I have one TV.
I have two. I don't know how it happened. Honestly, it blows me away.
Yeah.
Just TVs everywhere.
Well, I saw this on TikTok.
Uh-oh.
The question posed was, would you kill Will Ferrell?
Dude, that is so funny because that's on my goddamn list. So that's we're seeing the same TikToks.
Okay, that's fucking weird. Would you kill Will Ferrell in order to get Chris Farley back?
Okay, so I've had this conversation multiple times, and
hang on,
there is stipulations. We have to go through some stipulations. The TikTok I saw obviously doesn't go through all the details that I've gone through with other people. So there's
he expanded on his question
a little
and said,
bit, but there's more to it.
And said the question he's posing is, if you kill Will Ferrell to get Chris Farley back, what you're doing is erasing Will Ferrell's career and you're regenerating a Chris Farley career up until this point. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah,
everything he would have made.
So you're just assuming you bring Chris Farley back.
Yes.
It's just like he never died and his career just continued. But today, 2021, he would still be a 50-year-old man, 50-year-old man with a career behind him.
Yeah, and you're basically saying Will Ferrell died instead of Chris Farley.
So I don't know.
You lose Anchorman, you lose, Mom, Meatloaf. You lose Step Brothers.
I definitely, I've thought about this all week, and it's really difficult. But I will go with Chris Farley. A few reasons. One is Chris Farley.
Wow, Jesus Christ! You just killed Will Ferrell.
Out of everyone, out of every famous person ever, Chris Farley was the biggest part of my life as a child. I vividly, at no point in my life as a child do I remember a situation of thinking about a movie star, except Chris Farley. I remember to the T. I remember everything that was happening that day. I was in the third grade. Believe I was in the third grade, and my dad came in, and I woke up. I went to the kitchen. I have 5 brothers and sisters, so the house is all happening, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table eating cereal or something, oatmeal, and my dad was in the living room watching the news, and then comes into the kitchen, and he's like, Chris Farley just died. And I fucking remember it to the T. And it was like, and not only that, it was honestly one of my first death experiences. You know what I mean? Really having to think about death. Because no one had died in my family up until then. And it was someone that was so important to me. And I was blown away. It was a big moment. And so there's that Will Ferrell doesn't hold that same child emotion that Chris Farley does. It was such a part of my childhood. That, and then I will also say, to add on to why I would choose Chris Farley, and I don't know why I'd say this. I've said this to a few people, and they're like, I totally disagree with you. But if I look at Chris Farley, I really do see a career past where he died. But that's weird, too, because I think part of what made him such a good comedian is that he had such problems. You know what I mean? Drug problems, addiction problems. You know what I mean? Like, usually great people have problems like that. So if he wouldn't have died that night, there's a good chance he would have just died another night. You know what I mean? Like, there's that. Yeah. So you could literally throw his career away, and then he dies a month later, and it's like, well, fuck. But I think Chris Farley had the potential to do serious movies. I don't know why I think that. something about him. I see him as a comedian that wouldn't just be stuck in comedy, but I think it would have taken like 10 years to get there. But I see more of like a Robin Williams thing with him. I really do. I think he could have came into the back nine of his career and changed it a little bit. And I could just, I don't know. I can just imagine a scene with Chris Farley where it gets serious and he like, it gets emotional, and I would believe it. Whereas Will Ferrell, I just can't. And I don't know why I think that about Chris Farley. I just think he did have the potential for that. And honestly, I think that maybe ties back into him having such bad addiction problems. Is I think he could sell it. He could like dig down deep, grab pain, put it on screen, and I could see like tearing up watching him. Like, shit, dude. If he landed a Dead Poet Society role, I think maybe not when he died, but I think if he matured a little bit as an actor, he could knock a serious one out of the park.
That's interesting.
So I'm gonna go with Chris Farley. There's a lot there, but yeah, definitely Chris Farley. And I don't do that not sad, because Blades of Glory is fucking amazing. Step Brothers is fucking amazing. We'd be losing some good comedies. It would be Other Guys, Blades of Glory, and Step Brothers. I would be super sad about. Super, super sad about. The rest of them, be a little sad. But those three movies are some of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, old school.
Yeah. That movie keeps on coming up. It was an okay movie. I don't think it was the same caliber as the other three I just mentioned.
Well, Will Ferrell's done serious movies.
No, not like how I'm saying like Dead Poet Society. He's never done anything like that. Yeah. He's never done a serious role. He's like, everyone keeps bringing up, because I've had this conversation throughout the week, and they're like, well, what about Stranger Than Fiction? That wasn't a serious movie. It kind of was. And it made you feel something, but not, it wasn't this. He would have never have won an award for that. You know what I mean? It was a serious movie though. He was in another movie called Everything Must Go, and that was a serious movie. But again, and I like that movie. He didn't fucking, it wasn't a knock it out of the park in a serious role. It was just him in a serious role. But I still, both those movies, I can't get away from the silliness of him. You know what I mean? Even though he's doing a good job acting and everything's there, it's like he can't get away from the silliness, where it's like plug in Robin Williams, you can like totally forget about the silliness. You know what I mean? On some of his movies, like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, well,
I don't think Will Ferrell is tormented. I don't think he's a tormented person. You know what I mean? I don't think so. He just doesn't seem like the person that has a bunch of skeletons. And like, I think to be a fucking great, you got to be crazy. You know what I mean? You got to be a little fucked up. And Robin Williams, obviously a little fucked up. Chris Farley, I think same deal. I think you didn't see any of the negative shit with him, but I think he was an artist more than Will Ferrell.
Jeez, taking shots. Yeah, I would make the murder swap as well.
You'd go Chris Farley? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Do you want to expand on? I know I just railroaded that whole thing.
Well, I would. I don't know. I'd have to think about that whole serious lane that you think he's capable of, because I haven't thought about that. But I just feel like he maybe demands more attention when he's in a scene than Will Ferrell does. I don't know. Will Ferrell does too, though. I feel like he would definitely has the potential to give us some classics. But I'm just thinking really comedy. He was just amazing. And I love Beverly Hills Ninja, and I loved him and Billy Madison, and there's just a lot of stuff.
Okay, so if it's not,
he had that, and that's why those deaths are so tragic, because you know that person has such a high ceiling of what they're capable of, continuing to do. And I don't know. I mean, if you maybe even took one of his movies and he only did that and then he died, you'd still have that same feeling of like, wow, that guy was super capable of continuing this
that's
on.
Another
even just Saturday Night
that's
Live.
another argument I have with Chris Farley versus Will Ferrell. it took Will Ferrell longer to sell the brand of Will Ferrell. To me, if I look at his career, it was a steady up ramp. It wasn't this just like, holy shit, Will Ferrell. Because Old School came out, and it's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? It was like, oh. And then it just kept ramping up and ramping up. Where to me, Chris Farley just, it was instant. It was more like a Robin Williams thing, like Mork and Mindy. It was more like, who the fuck is this dude? Like, this is insane. And everything he did was just to knock it out of the park. Other than, honestly, Beverly Hills Ninja, I think was the worst movie he did.
And I love that movie.
Yeah, I don't love that movie. I love Almost Heroes is my favorite fucking movie. That movie is hilarious.
Never seen it.
You've never fucking seen, and you're gonna pick Chris Farley when there's movies you haven't even seen? That's insane. And that's not like a B-rated movie. That was the dude from Friends is in that movie too. The like nice guy from Friends.
Okay.
Go watch that movie. You watch 12 movies a day. Go fucking watch Almost Heroes.
Okay. Done.
And then get the Stephen King Shining audiobook and listen to that.
I love Beverly Hills Ninja. I think it's amazing.
I think that's his worst movie he did.
Yeah, but to say that is a lot because, that's
like
saying
exactly
Kanye's worst album. Yeah.
It's like saying what?
Like Kanye's worst album is going to be better than a lot of people's best album.
Yeah.
But Will Ferrell's given us some classics, and it's almost like he's given us some classic moments as opposed to classic movies. I mean, if you want to call Anchorman like a classic comedy, I wouldn't really argue with it. Making a sequel probably hurts it a little. People love Elf. Those two are probably the closest things you'd be like, that's a great Will Ferrell movie, I guess. I don't know. I mean, his role.
I think Step Brothers, I think, is his biggest.
Step Brothers.
That's hands down.
And Talladega Nights.
Yeah, but I've never, out of guy talk, like on a construction site, there's no movie more quoted, I think, ever than Step Brothers. It is it is bypassed every movie now with the quotes. Just like, I'm playing Moby Dick for real. All day long, I'm dropping. Yeah. I don't think there's been a day that has gone by where I don't drop a Will Ferrell thing. And so taking Chris Farley's side on this is a big deal. I have nothing against Will Ferrell. He is amazing. Is there a star comedian that you wouldn't switch their careers out? So I said that, and as it was coming out of my mouth, I'd be like, well, Robin Williams. No way would I trade Robin Williams for Chris Farley.
Well, yeah, but I was trying to think of maybe someone more in Chris Farley's age group. But yeah, I wouldn't trade Robin Williams.
Like, no way. He holds it. He holds it out of comedians. Fuck that. You can't touch Robin Williams movies. They're amazing. Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm not giving up Mrs. Doubtfire. You can go fuck yourself. And then the two serious ones, fucking with Matt Damon and then
Good Will
the Dead
Hunting.
Poets Society. Yeah. Those are fucking crazy.
Yeah. He is incredible. I don't know. I was trying to think of someone more in Chris Farley's age group, but it's like...
It really doesn't matter, though, if you're just saying erasing a career for...
Yeah.
Robin Williams is, only probably 10 years older than Chris Farley? 15 years older than Chris Farley?
I have no idea.
I would say he can't be more than 15. It's probably 15 years older than Chris Farley.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It's an interesting one. I like that one.
And his role in Wedding Crashers was great. Mom, Meatloaf. I'm crashing funerals now. It's fucking great.
Wait, Will Ferrell? He's in Wedding Crashers?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Oh, Jesus.
It's obviously he's just got a small role in that movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that very well. It's been a hot minute since I've seen that movie. Well, goddamn it, you took one of my subjects.
Maybe like a Ben Stiller. Would you trade like a Ben Stiller for Chris Farley?
Well, what does Ben Stiller have to offer? Meet the Parents series. Dude.
Zoolander.
He does have probably one of my favorite characters is the dude off of Happy Gilmore. God damn
That's
it.
a great character.
That character is fucking hilarious. Such a good character.
And he's great. He's great in, dodgeball, but also kind of heavyweights.
He's great at
Heavyweights.
being like the villain. Like being the over-the-top villain. He's so fucking funny at that shit.
Yeah. Just give him a fake mustache.
Yeah.
And he's better. It's more fun to watch him in something like that with a fake mustache as a villain than just like, sort of like the rom-com.
I think
trying to bang Jennifer Aniston.
I'm gonna say I'd give him up. What about Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
I think that's a good one. Adam Sandler.
That's tough, dude.
But if you're gonna give up Will Ferrell and you're not gonna give up Adam Sandler, there's a problem there. Because if I had to get rid of Adam Sandler movies or Will Ferrell movies, I think I would probably lean towards getting rid of the Sandler movies. Cause
no, I wouldn't.
I don't like Sandler's career all that much.
The tricky thing is it just makes me think that a lot of the stuff that Adam Sandler did that is the most beloved and good was stuff while Chris Farley was still alive. So you're erasing you're just swapping that as well? I don't know. Because they cross paths so many times.
I don't know.
I don't think I would make that swap. I don't know, because I do love Adam Sandler. And he is a great actor in serious roles. So, I don't know.
Because he did one goddamn movie.
2 movies.
What?
Punch Drunk Love.
Okay, I
Drunk
haven't
Love
seen that one.
And Uncut Gems.
I remember he got a little serious on Click, but
oh yeah,
a little bit.
No Click.
So I went down this weird rabbit hole, and it was an interesting rabbit hole. I saw this TikTok, and I wonder if you've heard this before, but I saw this TikTok of this black lady, and she's on an interview, and her name is Sophia Stewart. You ever heard that name before?
No.
So she, quite the interesting character. She wrote a book in 1985 called The Third Eye.
Nice.
And in 1999, she went into a movie theater and watched The Matrix. And said she was in that theater and was like, "That's my fucking movie. That's my story." And so, a few years later, cue a massive legal battle where she sued the Wanowski. What's their names? Wachowski Brothers sisters. Him, her,
siblings.
she, him, whatever they are. And there was a 10-year, 15-year legal battle of where she was trying to sue them. But then as that lawsuit was going on, she claimed even more stuff. So she claimed in that book, she said she wrote that book and then sent it to a science fiction writing competition. She said she saw it in a magazine, sent it in. She said she never heard anything back, nothing. And then 15 years later, there's her story on the screen. She swears up and down. She's like, I wrote all that shit. And now I kind of want to get this book and see what's in this fucking book. But then...
So it's not like she wrote a book and then just put it in a drawer and sent it in there. It's like a published book.
Okay, no. It's not a published book.
Oh, okay.
So that's a huge problem. And she can't prove... in this whole court case, she can't prove... she can prove that she wrote a book, but not published. But obviously, there's testimonies and shit. Like, she can prove the book was in existence in 1985. That she had written this deal. The problem is she can't prove that they ever saw any of this. There's no proof she can come up with that they ever saw any of this. So that's why it'd be fun to kind of get the book and see if it actually is pretty damn close. But
yeah.
But then later on in time, after the whole Matrix thing came out, she also claims, and this is where I think a lot of people started losing credibility because they're like, whoa. She claims that she came up with the Terminator trilogy as well. that she is responsible for writing all the Terminator and all the Matrix, and she claims that it's all one story, and that all that shit was stolen from her. The whole idea was stolen from her. And that's where a lot of critics are like, wait a second. This book you wrote, you said came out in 1985. Well, Terminator was already out in 1985, so I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? And she's like, well, I had drafted the ideas, and same kind of story. Went around Hollywood and pitched all these writing deals, and she said, I talked to this guy, who's whoever fucking wrote Terminator, whatever. Somehow she claims that he got a hold of it, and then blah, blah, blah. And so, but what was interesting, the TikTok I saw actually wasn't explaining any of this. It was her explaining that the Terminator series and the Matrix are all one story. And I thought that was really interesting. And she's like, Terminator is the past and the Matrix is the future. And she's saying the way it was supposed to be written is Sarah Connor is Neo's mother. And the machines take over, and then once the machines completely take over, that's cue the Matrix, and the Matrix kicks in. And once the machines actually win, they turn everyone into batteries. And then she even gets it even crazier. She says the whole story is written around not the moral, but I'm an idiot. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. The story is supposed to be like based on the biblical second coming of Jesus. You know what I mean? Like that's the undertone of the story. And so, and she's saying what it means is machines are are man's creation and man is God's creation. So it's like, that's her take on good and evil, like the battle for Earth, good and evil is. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. She goes down that whole thing, and I don't know. And then she's essentially saying Neo is the second coming of Jesus, and he sets everyone free, and blah 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 blah. Where it was men's greed ruined the Earth by creating machine, and then God's love being Neo separates them from man's greed. I don't know. Blah blah. It was an interesting little deal, but by the end of it, after the article I read, I think I read 2 articles on it. It was everyone. Yeah, it's all bullshit. She's just a crazy lady that is claiming she wrote all this shit. But it was an interesting little deal. The TikTok sold me. I'm like, what? It's like, this bitch wrote The Matrix. But you dig into it.
So I wonder if the lawsuit ended in a payout or
not. No. It was all dropped. It's all done.
Shit.
But there was, I guess, the story, she wrote a bunch of news people throughout the years trying to get this story, headline news. And there was like a few little tidbits, nothing major, like smaller B-rated magazines that would pick the story up and go with it. But what it did become, and it's kind of sad or whatever for the people on that side, but the main news articles and groups that picked the story up and went with it, it was championed with her just being a black woman and that white people stole this story. So a lot of like black magazine, you know what I mean, like pro-black news outlets would like grab this story and like champion this woman, and it kind of, end of the day, it kind of made them look worse because it was, they were championing something that was absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
And then that led into me not knowing about the Wakowski or whatever. I didn't know anything about those people.
Siblings.
And it was like, wait, they're transgender people? And then, went down that whole rabbit hole. Like, I didn't.
Just one of them. No,
both of them.
No.
Okay, I'm not going to argue because you're way more into it. But the kid that told me this, because I was telling the story, and he's like, he's like, stop calling them brothers. He's like, that's not what, they're not men. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I got on Google and looked up the brothers, and it shows a side by side of the 2 brothers and then present day, and they're both dressed up like women.
Okay. If that happened, I didn't hear about it.
Do you know what they look like? Like, can you imagine what those brothers look like back in the Matrix days?
No.
I don't know anything about these people, but there was like one bigger guy, kind of stocky dude, and one skinny.
Oh, they're both women.
Bam.
I didn't know that.
Daddy's right again. I thought you were a fucking film file or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
And only one of them is directing Matrix 4, which is interesting, but I knew about the first one. I did not know about the second one. That's interesting that two brothers, are they twins?
No,
No,
they
they're not
do.
twins.
They do not look anything alike.
The two brothers who are directing partners both became women. That's fascinating. And they're great directors, too, because of Matrix, the Matrix 1 basically making, in my opinion, like the greatest sci-fi movie of all time, and then they made V for Vendetta, which is a pretty good movie as well.
Oh, I didn't know that they did that one. Yeah, I mean,
So based off just those two.
The Matrix is one of the most, yeah. If you weren't alive in 1999 and, like, understanding what the world was going through, when that movie came out, that was like Titanic and The Matrix were like, what the fuck? They were the biggest things ever. It was such a big deal.
It was great.
I remember my dad, so we were all Mormon. I remember my dad, like, getting in a fight with my mom because he wanted to take all of us to go see The Matrix. And she's like, you can't see The Matrix. Like, we don't watch it. Yeah, that's too graphic for us Mormon folk. But it was a big deal because everyone on the radio was saying, they're like, this is the biggest movie of the century. And it kind of was. Like, everyone was like, what the fuck?
It was great.
It was a good movie.
Follow the White Rabbit.
It was a good movie. It was definitely the best, hands down, out of every Matrix movie. Just kept getting worse and worse as time went on. But
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the only good one, in my opinion. And I like V for Vendetta, which is a little worse. It's not, great, but I still like it.
Yeah, it's all right. It's kind of weird how that movie got, like, championed into, like, almost like an Antifa type. You know what I mean? Like this rebel cry.
Yeah.
I don't know how the mask, like, took over. How Anonymous uses that mask. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of weird, like trying to make a real resistance against what you presume is evil and then using a character from a TV show. I don't know. It's like, that's kind of weird to me. Like, kind of seems childish to do that.
Yeah. I don't care about all that. But they're great directors. I'll give them that.
But it is a testament to how good of a movie it is that, literally is so cult-like that that mask is one of the most iconic masks of all time. It's that mask and the Scream mask are hands down the most famous mask of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, the Scream mask. I just love Natalie Portman.
Okay. Is that Scream? Where did Natalie Portman come in? Am I missing
She's
something?
in V for Vendetta.
Yeah. Yep. She is in V for Vendetta. She is. Yep.
So I love the Wachowskis,
Sisters.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. That's fucking crazy. And if that lady, I don't know, it's possible for you to write a book and then someone else to have the same idea and make it into a movie, without hearing the book. And you'd be in a real shit place because you'd be like, they had to have read my book, but they didn't.
Yeah.
It's totally possible.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we've went over it, but I was talking about this whole thing the other day, and then I got really excited talking to this kid about, pretty sure we've gone over this on this show, but the whole Quentin Tarantino 2 universe theory. I love talking about that one. And I'd forgotten a bunch of them. It was like, oh, yeah. Like, because
You mean one universe?
No, 2 universe. There's swear to God, we've went over this. So, Quentin Tarantino, a lot of fans think that there's a 2 universe theory. There's a real universe and there's a movie universe. And so, the people in the real universe, in Tarantino's world, if they went to a movie theater, they'd be watching Universe 2, which is like his crazier movies. So it's like the big one that solidifies this theory is in Pulp Fiction when Uma Thurman is talking about Fox Force 5, she's talking about Kill Bill. And that one's the biggest one they have because it's like you can't even deny any of that. She literally lists all 5 women and lists what their expertise is, and it's exact, even with their race You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is an Asian one, and there was a black one, and she was a demolitions expert, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but the theory goes on and on and on. And then, like, so all of From Dusk Till Dawn, those are all the movie sides. And then a bunch of the names. There's a huge list of the connections made there. Like, the name for Quentin Tarantino in Pulp Fiction, the dude at the end, that dude's name is... There's another dude with the same exact name that's somehow tied to, like, Reservoir Dogs. And so they're saying that those two people are related. There's a bunch of those little connections all over the place. I don't know.
Yeah.
I looked it up when we were talking about it with the other guys. I'm like, oh, yeah. And then some people have the grandiose theory that somehow, I know, and I don't remember it, but it ties in the whole gold box thing. Because that's the biggest fucking theory, you know, our conspiracies out of all Tarantino movies is, what's in the briefcase? No one knows what's in the briefcase. Yeah.
There's a lot of other little things. Like, I don't know, in Pulp Fiction, she smokes, like, candy apple cigarettes or something. And then that's who's, like, I think Rick Dalton is sponsored by in, like, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then there's other ones where, like, Christoph Waltz's character in Django, like, his last name is, like... Then there's a character in some other movie that has that same last name, and it's like that was her grandpa or something.
Yeah, exactly. There's a shitload of connections like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's just an interesting one.
Awesome.
Maybe I feel like we've done this, but maybe that'd be a good topic to come up. I don't know, rehash that one, list everything out because I love that one. Tarantino's the okay. Would you? Is there anything with the Will Ferrell one? Is there any comparable things with like directors? You're the director buff. Is there any director that like died that was a master that shouldn't have died? That like then you could compare his career to like Tarantino and be like, would you kill Tarantino to get that guy, or would you kill I don't know, whoever?
I don't know about died. I mean, Stanley Kubrick died, but I think that's just because he was old.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he had a long ass career, didn't he? I feel like he did.
Yeah. And I just watched a movie of his yesterday, and I want to watch some others again, but. No, I don't know. I don't know a lot of directors that have died. Really.
I was trying to make a connection that's not.
I was thinking with another actor that if you would replace his career with Chris Farley, what about Jim Carrey?
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
You replaced Jim Carrey with
Jim
Chris
Carrey.
Farley?
Jim Carrey's not nearly as funny as.
Wow.
Yeah, I know he's a big one, but I don't know. I don't know
either. That's
what like what
one
movies
with
others. Him are that like The Mask? I don't really care. Like Liar Liar, like
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Don't care.
Oh, that's such a good movie.
Ace Ventura. It's a lot of his is it's funny, but it's really cheap comedy to me. And you could argue the same for Chris Farley, but I don't know. Chris Farley sold that cheap. I don't know. I never thought he was that funny. It just was always like
he's funny.
Dumb and Dumber is all right. That one was. I think that was his funniest movie he ever did.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I knew you would. That just totally.
And then I saw him in that weird like thriller kind of movie, The Number 23, which I thought he was actually really good in. He's a good he can pull the serious actor thing for sure.
Kinda.
I used to love Bruce Almighty, but that's kind of just like a kids movie.
The movie I've been wanting to see because it's been forever, and I feel like if I watched it now, it would be a different movie to me. Is the one where he has the 3 black sons, Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
It's been.
What about The Truman Show?
Hot minute since I've seen that Truman Show. Yeah, Truman Show's good. I don't know that's it's as the more you keep talking about it, the more I'm like, oh yeah.
Truman Show is a classic. Me, Myself, and Irene is classic.
Maybe.
That's a great movie.
But it'd be weird to keep him and then just plug that back into Will Ferrell. It's like, so you're gonna pick Jim Carrey over Will Ferrell? Like, get out of here.
It's tough. It's real tough.
Yeah.
Tarantino, there's probably him and Stanley Kubrick are my top two directors. There's probably not a director I would.
Okay, if it was between those two,
Tarantino.
if you had to choose one of those two careers had to be erased, like had to, you had to choose, or both.
I would
you
have
had to
to-
choose,
I would
or both careers get destroyed.
I would have to choose Tarantino.
Keeping
But
Tarantino.
also- Yeah.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese also would be a tough one as well.
What movies did he do?
So, Goodfellas, The Departed.
Oh, yes.
Casino.
Still Tarantino. Tarantino
Yeah.
has some of the most important movies of all time to me. They're just there's
You need to
there's
rewatch. You need to rewatch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I do. And what is funny is The Departed is one of my favorite movies. Such a well done fucking movie. And the cast for that movie is just out of control.
It's an amazing movie.
We're doing a lot of
One of my
movie
favorites.
talk on this episode. If you're not a movie file or whatever you want to, I don't know. There's a better word for that. Yeah, you'd be like, well, you guys just shut the hell up about movies. I have something on the list, and I was so fired up about it, and I just not so fired up about it. But I just thought it was ridiculous. It just. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into this fired up moment. I was
Is it about politics?
slightly, but not really.
Uh-huh.
It's about blue hairs, that's for sure. But I was part of this Facebook group in Portland, and it was called Portland Underground Music Scene. And essentially the
Okay.
whole Facebook thing was just people would post like shows, like house shows on there, stuff like that. Or,
Yeah.
just kind of whatever. And when I first joined the group, like once you joined the group, they had like a pinned, I don't know what it's called,
Post.
like a pinned post that's always at the top. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the pinned post was like the dude in the picture, whoever said it, and he was obviously like a moderator or something like that of the page. And there was like, it was like an 8,000 it wasn't a small page. It was a pretty big page, I want to say at least 5,000 people were in it. The kid just looked ridiculous. He kind of looked like Stevie Ray Vaughan a little bit, like had the fucking hat on and like an earring, like a long earring, but a young kid. And the whole post was like right out of the bat, and everything's in capital, like, or in uppercase, like just screaming at you the whole time. And it's white people. You can't be racist against white people was like the fucking top headline. And then don't bring in, and then it just goes on and on and on. And it's like, don't bring any cisgendered bullshit into this group. Like, that's the main thing. And it, like right off the bat, I was like, this is a music page. Like, why the fuck is this the pinned page? And I just instantly like lost respect for the group. Was like, fuck all these people. This is so stupid. But I stayed on the page. It's just, I just never did anything to leave the page. Just would see their posts come up.
Yeah.
And this is 6 months ago I joined this page. And then the other day I'm at lunch and I see it pop up on my notifications like someone in this group had posted a post in the group. And so I read the post, and it's essentially something I was going to do. That first day when I got accepted to the group and I read that top message, I started writing a message out to the group like how stupid that post is at the beginning of it. And after I got like, I don't know, wrote 10 sentences down, I just, it's just stupid, and just deleted the whole thing. Like, this is a pointless argument to get into. No one in this group is going to agree with what I have to say here, so fuck it. I'm just out. But like a week ago, this dude wrote a post like identical to what I was going to say. Like, this is bullshit. Why is this the pinned thing on here? Like, you can't be racist against white people. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking the most racist goddamn thing I've ever, you know what I mean? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, how are we supposed to, come out of this if it's just hate, blah, 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 that whole thing. So I find, like, then he had posted it 12 minutes before I saw it. And already comments are starting to flood in. Essentially, fuck this guy. Everyone commenting, just like, fuck this guy. And so I chime in, like, No, I actually was going to write a post very similar, but I found it pointless to get in an argument with all these people. And people are just bam. And then 30 seconds later, someone else coming in, like, laugh emoji, like you're an idiot, like type deal. And it's like, no, I don't know. To me, I was like, he makes a good point, and this is exactly why I didn't say anything, because this page is full of some blue hairs. Like, yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah.
Then I eat my burrito, and then bam, that fucking page no longer exists. And I was like, Jesus Christ, they banned me from the page just for saying, like, yeah, I agree with what you just said. And it's like, banned from the page. I don't know. I was just like, you fucking... I'm not as worked up. I was very worked up when this had happened. Just like these fucking...
Well, you live in like the bluest city in the country.
I know. It's just so... yeah. It's just irritating. It's like, this is supposed to be a music page. You know what I mean? This is for music. And you guys are turning this into some... Yeah,
that's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's dumb. It's like, yeah, just take politics right into that. Underground music in Portland.
But that's the problem is
what does that have to do with race?
Portland people is that's not a political thing to them. You know what I mean? Like they feel like Republicans make that political, but they're not making that political. They just think that that's right. They think that's morally correct. Like, you need to be using your pronouns correctly. You need to fucking hate white people. Like, white people are evil. And if you don't say that, it's like, I don't know. It's just crazy.
Oh, yeah. Because silence is, bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So we need to have the post in order to say that we're good or something.
Yeah, and it's like so many pages now. That's like, because... I've noticed that now, after that one, I really start, all these pages I follow, literally almost every page has the same thing. They'll have like a pinned post, and they're like, these are the rules for this page. And every one of them are like, no homophobic stuff, no racist stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I get it, but it's like, I don't know. It's most of it isn't totally woke, but it obviously comes from like they're covering their bases. You know what I mean? Like, we got to appease the trolls, because they're going to come after us if we don't.
It's ridiculous.
I'm not as fired up about it. I really don't care. I didn't even want to bring it up because I'm not, fuck them.
Yeah.
You know what I need here? You know what needs to happen? I need a coffee pot here. I need a fucking coffee pot here. I need the mini fridge here. I need the coffee pot here. Well, because I'm out of coffee, and now I'm grumpy.
Just mainlining caffeine.
Just mainlining the caffeine.
Well, I was thinking about this, and it was a weird kind of thought process I was having. I don't really know. There's not really a point to it, but I was just thinking about back in the day smoking weed, which I don't do now. I haven't done in a long time. I have zero desire to do. I would actively avoid anything that would make me feel high. I do not want to feel high anymore. But back in the day, when a lot of people would smoke, a lot of times when you were smoking it, like 15 years ago, you'd be with other people. And when you were with other people, you would be passing around a pipe to smoke out of. Mm-hmm. And you're all kind of just like swap and spit with each other.
Yeah.
And it seems kind of like right now I would kind of feel weird about that right now.
Yeah.
Like just to say a group of like 6 people, 7 people, and you're passing the pipe. Because I would be thinking almost like about COVID or something like that. Or just like more conscious to like, we're all tonguing the same fucking thing here. And I'm wondering if people still are doing that, like, right now today.
Children are, for sure. But I guarantee you, if there was, like, a percentage, if they could figure out the percentage rates of how many people were sharing pipes, that number is easily cut in half. Easily cut in half because of COVID.
Yeah. So, but then there were times back then, like, really rare, like so crazy rare, where it's like everyone would have their own device, and you're all smoking together, but like everyone has their own pipe. But it's like that almost never happened. But
that was like an event. You'd all roll like 5 blunts, and you'd all go get in a bathroom and try to hotbox it. You know, it was like an event.
Yeah, that's like, it would never happen, but there would be like one blunt that gets passed around a huge group of people, which would happen sometimes. Sometimes you smoke by yourself, like me, or other times you smoke with other people. I was kind of like maybe 50-50. But then it's weird thinking about that with like alcohol. How with alcohol, you'd never like pass a bottle around or like a glass around. You'd never pour like a glass.
At 18, you'd pass a bottle around, but...
Yeah, maybe, yeah. You'd still maybe try, if you had cups, you'd probably pour into cups. Yeah. But like, you'd never pour into one cup and then like pass the cup around. But I don't know, it's weird that, because alcohol definitely seems more social, but it's like with alcohol, we all have our own drink. We're not passing a beer around. I don't know. I was just thinking about all this crazy.
I think I mean, I get everything you're saying, and I hate. That's the worst thing ever, is grabbing a fucking blunt from someone and they're Jimmy lipping it. You know what I mean? Just like, dude, come on, man! Like, this is disgusting. Like trying to wipe the end of a blunt off or a joint off. Like, god damn it! Like, yeah. But I think, yeah.
Why didn't the tradition start like alcohol, where it's like everyone has their own thing? The tradition started with like, we're gonna pass it, take turns.
Well, no, that's I don't want to get into a COVID thing, because I feel like that's all that this is gonna turn into for me. But 2 things: one, I love tradition, and I think there's something like almost Indian. You know, like think about Indians just sitting around. There's something communal.
That's what it was.
Communal about doing that, and it's a good thing. And even though you're talking about a drug, everything we can possibly do that's traditional and involves people, whether it being to go sit down every Sunday and like having breakfast with a group of people, or that shit, we need to maintain these things. These are to me very important for humans. Why do you think people are killing themselves more and more and more? It's because we're getting a disconnect between people, and favoring safety and germs and that shit over mental health to me is you'll never convince me that that's more important. And then not only that, I think as a mental health, like if you zoom out with mental health, to me, my theory would be you have 8 billion people. Now, all those people sharing drinks and cigarettes and blunts and having bodily exchange, I think that's actually good for a species. Like, the more people are doing that, the better immune systems are. The more we just push home, we got to sanitize everything. Everything needs to be clean, never be exposed to germs. I think as a whole, you're just making weaker people. 8 billion people, you're just making weaker people that are now more susceptible to germs because they don't get any fucking germs anywhere. Fucking beat your immune system up a little bit. And I think on a grand scale, it's probably good to beat your immune system up a little bit. Let fucking kids go sit in a car and fucking pass a joint around. You know what I mean? Let them fucking battle these things. So 2 things. One, just the health of it. I think it's honestly probably does more good to pass some germs around overall, like just bettering your immune system. But then also anything that's, I hate that. I hate that that's weird, because I think about that. Like, I don't smoke joints.
It is weird.
I don't smoke joints with people a lot, but I love anything that's communal. Anything that's communal feels good. And it's great to have a situation with someone, to have a friendship that's a set in stone thing you go do, or as a group of people. Yeah. It makes me honestly want to go to church. I'm jealous of people that go to church for the, it's the same thing. I'm jealous of people that go to AA. But the problem is I disagree so much with what they're doing there, I won't go. You know what I mean? I disagree with the mentality of the group and what they're pushing. And the same with churches. But I'm jealous that they have a community that they all watch each other's back. That's separate from your family, because I have very little of that. It's work is essentially the only community I get.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important. And the COVID's like tripled, doubled down on just stay in your house and stay by yourself. And it's like, That's not living, man. That's not living at all. Go sit in
No.
a car with 5 people packed to the brim and go smoke a blunt. Fuck.
Drive around.
Drive around.
Fucking take some sharp turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. If I was standing there with 6 people right now and we were passing a pipe around, I'd be like, I don't know if we should. This is kind of weird. You know, I don't know if I want.
Everyone put
the
your
lips.
mask on before we smoke this blunt, okay?
Yeah, at least we all have masks on. Yeah, and there's definitely a difference between a family that's like, you know, get like if we get our food in the kitchen and then everyone goes to their rooms and closes the door, as opposed to a family that like sits around a dinner table. It's like night and day difference. I just don't know.
You mean
it's
what you just said with like mental health, or?
yeah,
Yeah.
with mental health. Yeah,
Yes, I mean every
It's
little
just-
bit of community shit you can do is so important. The more you isolate yourself, it's so. It's like watching. It's so funny to watch people that are miserable, and it's like, and they blame all this different stuff. They're like, "Well, I have ADHD or I'm bipolar," you know, blah blah blah. It's like, well, let's just look at your life. Like, what did you do today? You know what I mean? Well, I sat in a room all day and watched anime. It's like, yeah, have you talked to anybody today? No. It's like, you don't think that that's where your depression's coming from?
yeah. You been outside? Well, yeah, I got my DoorDash, my Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just weird that it became like if it was even you and one other person and you had like a dozen pipes, you would just take one and you'd pass it back and forth with one person. But it's like you wouldn't do that with like one beer. It's just weird how that happened. I don't know. Because alcohol is like the most social thing, it seems like.
Dude, think back to, have you ever, this actually blows my mind. This goes to show how I've been slowly for how much I preach about being pro-germs, how I've been indoctrinated from when I was 18 is, do you remember playing beer pong with the beer in the fucking cups? And that ball's hitting the fucking ground and dog hairs landing in it, and you're fucking still drinking the cups, and then you pour more beer in, and the person next to you's drinking the same cup, and that ball's hitting fucking dog buttholes and landing back in the fucking cups, and you're still drinking it. That shit's... And what was so funny, like thinking back on, I remember the person who like introduced, like, why don't we put water in the cups and then just drink a beer separately? And it's like, you can do that? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you can do that? It's like, yeah, why haven't we been doing that?
Yeah.
I've
definitely played it both ways, and the water is way better.
Yeah.
The beer is disgusting.
Yeah. Well, and I think we went through a 2-step transition. I think the first one was someone got a cup of water and sat it on the table, and they're like, why don't we throw it in the beer and then you dump it, then you dump it in the water cup and kind of watch the ball out and then throw it again into the beer. And then someone later, like a few weeks later is like, why don't we just do away with all the beer in the cups and just water? It's like, shit, Elon Musk, where the fuck have you been?
Yeah. Well, you're talking like you invented it. You guys didn't invent it.
I
just figured it
absolutely
out.
invented that.
You just figured it out on your own, which is good. Yeah, it's there should be no I don't know. There should be no people passing around a pipe right now, but I see what you're saying, and there should be.
There should be.
There should be. Yeah.
Yeah. What's funny is I love seeing kids. Like, I see a lot of kids around here. I live in the bus stop for all the high schoolers is right out in front of my house. It's right, literally every morning you can just watch 12 kids stack up. And then across the street from my house is a high schooler's house where a lot of the kid, there's that house, the house you ever remember going to where kids were just fucking in and out. You know what I mean? And it's obviously the parents are a little children themselves.
Checked out.
They're just letting shit go on. You know what I mean? Like, where you're just like, there's obviously a lot of weed being smoked around and stuff like that. Like, these aren't responsible parents.
Jesus.
But it makes me happy watching COVID and then watching these group of kids because they don't give a fuck and they never have given a fuck. And it's like,
No.
Good on you guys. Smoke that weed. The other day, they're out fucking sitting in a Honda Civic. Windows fogged to shit. You can't see anything. They're all smoking weed right out on the fucking car, just blasting metal music. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Fucking take the power back. Woo!
Turn down that music, please. Yeah.
No, I enjoyed it.
If I
I'm
was
like,
in
they
high
don't give
school.
a shit. They're fucking, living the American dream over there. Listen to Metallica.
Yeah, if I was in high school, I wouldn't give a flying fuck about COVID. That's for sure.
Bam, dog. Oh,
Hey. Yeah.
I will get fired up. The other things on the list that was old fired up. This is new fired up. And I don't even want to look at it on the list. It gets my Zapples so fucking worked up.
Is it about United Airlines?
No, dude. This is like this is like the equivalent of United Airlines and that pregnant lady that hit your car. If they had a baby and that baby
fuck.
and that baby kept coming to your house and unlocking your doors every 5 minutes.
Oh,
that's
my God,
that. Yeah,
dude.
yeah. Imagine that baby. That's where
I'll burn down the whole fucking world. Jesus. I will burn the world down. I'll be the Joker. Yeah.
If that day when she had hit your car and then you're sitting out there and she's all pregnant and things calm down and you're like, where is the dad going to come around? She's like, oh, the dad? No, the father of this baby is United Airlines. Like, that's that baby. That's that baby in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm in a gas station 2 days ago. Get off work. Go to this gas station. A gas station I used to frequent a lot. And I know all the people that work there. And I see this dude I haven't seen in years. And like, I don't know, having this little, moment, just, hey, how you doing, buddy? He's a super nice guy. I'm sitting, and I'm second in line, and he's serving this dude, and the dude gets a can of Grizzly Wintergreen Long Cut. That's what I chew. I would say, arguably, one of the most popular chewing brands there is, other than Copenhagen. It's either Grizzly Wintergreen Long Cut, Copenhagen Straight. Like, those are the two main heavy hitters. And he sets the can down on the table, and I'm eavesdropping on what's going on. And he's like, oh, come January 1st, you won't be able to get those anymore. I instantly peek over, like, excuse me? Yeah, like, what? And then that guy leaves, and I'm like, what do you mean? Why won't he be able to get that? He's like, oh, well, Washington County, which is the county I live in, Washington County, as of January 1st, all flavored tobacco products gone. Cannot sell them. Illegal to sell them in Washington County. That's menthol cigarettes. All vapes. All chew except straight. All you can get is a regular pack of cigarettes. So Camel or Marlboro or straight chew. Can't get wintergreen. Can't Swishers out. All that shit.
Newports.
Gone. Newport's gone. Can't fucking sell it. I was...
Fuck.
My
motherfuckers.
Zapples were so worked up. It's so infuriating. That is the biggest bullshit. Like, what the and I get it. I know it's all in the guise of, well, we got to keep children away from, fucking vaping is ruining the world. Like, fuck you. Doesn't it seem like Democrats are the 90s like Christian groups? You know what I mean? You remember back in the 90s, they'd just be like, why the fuck are you guys bitching about this? Like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, we gotta get Smashing Pumpkins off the radio. They're ruining the world. You know what I mean? It's like, you fucking Bible thumpers, shut the fuck up. Democrats are the new Bible thumpers. Just out there, you can't do that. You can't have flavored tobacco. Like, fuck off. Like, what are you doing? What makes me so fucking mad? And then, the other day, you get talking about that, and then what really gets my Zapples going is in Democrat states, in Democrat cities, they're notorious for their tobacco products. So what's like the biggest anthem of a Democrat is fuck the 1%, be for the working man, pro lower class. Let's bring the lower class up. Fuck the upper class. What's the first thing any Democrat does? Sin tax. Fucking love sin tax. They jerk off on sin tax. Who does the sin tax affect the most? The poorest people in the fucking country. 90% of people that smoke cigarettes are below the poverty line. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're going to say pro 1% or pro lower class, why is it in Seattle a pack of fucking cigarettes is $15 goddamn dollars? It's $10 here in Portland. It's like, who's paying that? Bums? You know what I mean? Have you ever passed a bum that's not fucking buying a pack of cigarettes? You know what I mean? Like, fuck. Makes me so mad. It's like, you're not for the lower class. You know what I mean? Go fuck yourself. And then not only that, your excuse for raising that tax is, well, it's not good for you. Well, then that's the second thing I want to say, go fuck yourself on. You don't get to choose what I do with my body. You know what I mean? Isn't that your whole goddamn thing? My body, my choice? Don't fucking tell me what I can't. And then it's even more silly when you think about they just decriminalized all drugs in Oregon and weed is completely legal. So you can go do meth and that's fucking fine. But, oh, there's flavored tobacco around here. Like, you fucking, this is La La Land we're living in right now. La La Land.
Yeah.
And
That's
isn't there
crazy.
some turtles you need to go fucking save? Like, why are we talking about flavored cigarettes right now?
Because we have to keep it out of the children's hands.
Oh, my God.
It's marketed towards kids.
Dude, and it's so sad. It's like, dude, it really does. I'm not a big I really don't think there's this Illuminati New World Order trying to I'm not really on that deal, but it really does seem like Democrats are on a war path to destroy small business. You know what I mean? And it's like they just talk shit on capitalism and monopolies all the time, but then make it so fucking hard for you to start a company and run a successful company. What does this bill do? Shuts down every vape shop in Beaverton. There's probably at least 50 of them in Washington County. Easily. Doors closed. 50 businesses. Bam. Done. Well, we got to save the children. Fuck you, man. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You know whose problem it is to save the children? Their parents' problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's their fucking parents. It's not it's not the store's problem to stop alcohol and cigarettes getting into child's hands. That's the parents' problem. Fuck you.
It's true.
Ah.
Keep your rosaries out of my ovaries. But yeah, what we're going to start doing, though, is running. We're going to start running vape and grizzly wintergreen from North Dakota to
Yeah,
Portland.
we'll be doing a trade-off. We'll be giving weed over there. Be
Yeah.
like, we have all the weed in the world. Just literally, I will pay you to take the weed. Get it the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, a trade-off. 2 U-Hauls meet up, and I'll take a bunch of weed and meth.
Yeah, we'll meet in
And
like
then-
Missoula, Montana. We'll meet there.
Yeah.
We'll do an exchange.
Yeah, and I'll just give you a bunch of grape vape and grizzly wintergreen.
Hell yeah.
Just back the 2 U-Hauls up right like that, and just fucking whoosh, boom.
Yep.
Got my meth and fucking weed. It's dumb.
Gets my...
It's always under the Well, it's always under the guise of safety and to protect the kids and stuff like that. It's like, don't swear at a baseball game. Don't yell, hey, fuck you, fucking Alex Rodriguez, because a kid might hear you. And it's like the Democrats are for big government, though. And aren't Republicans supposed to be for little government, which they've absolutely failed at? Because they're both just for big government now. But I feel like being pro-taxes and pro-regulation is just following their motto of being for big government.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said except the Republican part. You lost me on that. Like, why? Just because...
Because I thought they were supposed to be for small government, but they're no different. They're just want just as big of a government as everybody else.
you could say, like, yeah, I mean, shit just keeps getting passed that makes the power of the government bigger and bigger. But
yeah.
I will say, I don't think, in general, I don't think Republicans have lost that view. You definitely have a shitload of Republicans that are do not let... that we can't let the overreach of the government get too big. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah,
you got to keep all the checks and balances there, and I feel like a lot of Republicans, that's their main thing, is like, stop trying to, I don't know, stop trying. I don't know. There's like a lot of things. I don't know.
But under like a Bush or Trump, it's not like the government really got smaller.
No.
It seems like all their job is to do is actively slow down the regulation, actively vote against more regulating, but they're not like making the government smaller.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they're bottlenecking as much shit as absolutely possible.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of people really angry, but I don't know. The older I get, I like that. Like the whole argument against what's the word when when they're trying to vote on something and you just like keep talking and keep talking.
Filibuster?
A filibuster, how they're trying to get rid of the filibuster and shit like that. And it's like, no, I get that it's stupid, but at least it's some check and balance on like, you ain't doing it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I will sit here all fucking day and I will talk about nonsense until we get this bill off the fucking table.
You just read The Shining.
Yeah. Today, we are going to listen from episode 1 to 73 of the Erick and Brad Show. Ah, fuck! God damn it! Well, turtles aren't getting saved. I'm going home.
I was thinking the other day if I had a country and I designed my own country, what my border policies would be. You know? I don't know, because I was hearing the old radio show I listened to from 10 years ago talk about border, controversies and how closed they should be or how open they should be from 2012. But I'm like, if I was in charge, what would my policy be? Because I'm like, we should have it more like Canada, where it's actually really hard to become a citizen. But I'm like, I understand that the beautiful thing about America is that you can come here, and it shouldn't be that hard. That's sort of the beauty of it. But you don't want it to be like, let's all pile on the boat and sink the boat. So it's like, would my border policy be... I think if it was up to me, my border policy would be super strict. And it'd be like the hardest country to become a citizen in. But that's just based off my personality of where it's like, I have a hard time welcoming someone else into the group. That's just me. Because I'm an asshole. But I get that America is the beautiful because it's like, we can welcome people into the group and they'll all help us and whatever. I don't know, but you shouldn't fucking regulate vapes and tobacco and shit like that, or sugar, or McDonald's. If you want to fucking kill yourself, kill yourself.
Yeah, my body, my choice. My body, my choice. Isn't that the whole goddamn argument?
Yeah. It's just parents wanting to be lazy parents and being like, the government needs to help. Teach my kid about sex and keep the vapes out of their hands.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy that whenever I remember that the tobacco has changed to 21, I'm always like, wow, that's crazy. It's only because you're above 21 that you don't care about it. But if we were national? Like 18... Yeah.
It's national, 21. See, it's just... Yeah. That's just crazy. That's crazy.
And that happened under Trump.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's just lazy parents.
It just gets my Zapples so fucking worked up.
Dude, what are they going to come for next? Your alcohol? I don't know. It's very hypocritical, though, to be, decriminalize meth and crack and then go after tobacco.
God, it just makes me so mad. And I feel like...
I know.
What I hate the most, what really irritates me, it's because it's so true. It's just... Everything doesn't seem like that big of a deal because they break it down so incrementally. But if you just look at it, it's like, dude, they just keep chipping. They just keep chipping until you don't have any rights left. And it's like every little one isn't that big of a deal. But after thousands of them, it's like, yeah, dude, what the fuck? Fucking can't collect rainwater. Like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? Like, this isn't freedom. You've set so many rules. Just fuck off. Leave us alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I hate them. I hate them all. I think we really do need a good old-fashioned purge, man. We need to fucking start killing each other again. We need to just start... We need a good fight. We need a good fucking fight. And just people need to die. And then I think a lot of things would change. We need a good... We need a good 9/11 or something. We need a good, like...
No.
Like, something needs to happen to put people back into perspective, because the biggest problem right now that 50% of the population thinks is a major problem is getting everyone's pronouns right. And it's like, if just the fact that we're even talking about that, it's like, we're all so spoiled. We need a good killing. We need a good killing.
No.
A good killing needs to go down.
Something that can happen that nobody dies. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think, but that's the problem is you can't people aren't going to just wake up unless some shit happens. No. Unless some shit happens. They're like, oh, okay, I'll shut up. Never mind.
Well, I definitely agree that all of those little things that seem to be super important that aren't is just because you have a lack of problems. It's like right now them trying to make this Aaron Rodgers COVID thing an actual story is like the most boring story ever that you could try to push.
But
they just
that was ridiculous.
Always need something to push.
I don't even hear a story right now. Like, I don't even hear a story in what's going on. Like, this is... Yeah, the Aaron Rodgers thing is ridiculous. And I don't even know much about it, but the headline was like... I wasn't going to read any article because the headline was so fucking stupid to begin with. It was like, okay.
It's so boring. It's like Aaron Rodgers, and it's... I mean, I guess it kind of took a turn where it became kind of interesting, but it's like, why are you trying to even push this boring ass story on people? It's like Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and I'm just speaking towards his talent, not sort of his personality or attitude, because he's kind of an asshole. And he tested positive for COVID. And at the beginning of the season, he said he was like vaccinated or something, and he tested positive for COVID. And then they asked him about the vaccination status again, and he said, "Yeah, I've been immunized." And they're like, And then they're like, "Can you expand on that?" He's like, "Well, I've been, doing my own thing. I've, consulted with a new friend of mine, Joe Rogan, and I've been taking like ivermectin or whatever to, keep myself safe from COVID." And then they're like, "What the fuck, dude? What are you talking about? Oh my God, get him. It's just like, why is it? It's just boring. It's not even that exciting. It's not exciting enough to be a 24-hour news cycle,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I didn't say that.
We need a good killing. You literally just proved my point. Like, let's get a good old-fashioned killing.
I know.
Because that's not a story. There's 8 billion people on the planet. There's stories out there. There's some real goddamn stories out there that you can touch on. And we're talking about Alec Baldwin and Aaron Rodgers. Like,
I know.
These aren't stories. Who gives a fuck that this lady got shot? There's a million other stories that happened that day that are way more interesting than Alec Baldwin shooting someone. Like, honestly, that should have been page 10 in the news, and it's not. That's page 1 headline.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers lied about a COVID fucking vaccination, and Alec Baldwin shot someone on set. Meanwhile, on page 10, fucking Kim Jong-un, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, why aren't we talking about any of this shit? Fucking China's about to kill Taiwan. That's not news. You know what I mean? That's not news. It's
true.
Yeah.
It's because they just want you, if you have that face, that guy that you can go after, like, let's get people to go after him. But then sometimes people are just like, we don't care that much. But sometimes the news makes you think that people care, and I don't think anybody cares. And Alec Baldwin's a great actor.
I think the news programs realized what all the fucking social media programs realized is just make people angry. You know what I mean? Like, if you keep driving the COVID thing home, you're actually doing a pretty good job, because you're just getting the people that don't care angry that you keep talking about it. So then they start talking about how angry they are that you won't stop talking about it. Now they're talking about it. Now you've successfully just made everyone angry. You've made everyone angry, and they love the headline.
Yeah.
We're a sucker for anger. You know what I mean? And everyone figured that out. Like, oh, just feed them anger. They love it. It's like a dopamine release to be angry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely is. It's just a bad way
to get there.
Yeah, it's a bad way to get there when you get that dopamine release from being angry, because like people will blow up over, I can't get this. I fucking stripped this screw, and then it's just fucking. But it's like, this is.
Dude, let me tell you about.
You're angry about other shit.
Let me tell you about some anger. So I've embraced lately. I'm sorry to railroad you there, but you want to talk about hot, and this is gonna seem silly, but fuck, I was hot. But not only just hot. I've recently been thinking about, because I keep getting told that I'm an asshole. Legitimately, people keep telling me I'm an asshole. And I don't see it, but it's happened so many times in my life that it's like, fuck it, I guess I'm an asshole. I don't see it. I've never thought I've been mean to people. And I think a lot of people think I'm being mean to them. And my defense is always, if I'm being mean to you, it's because I like you. If I'm teasing you, it's the more I tease you, the more I like you. And and I've had people come up like, I'm sure I've told the story about this girl came up to me in a bar one time and was like, you made that girl cry every day on the bus when she'd get off the bus. And I was like, what? And to me, I was like, I had a crush on that girl. Like, I had a fat crush on that girl. And it was me teasing her, just having fun. Like, I didn't realize she was taking it that way, and I think a lot of people in my life have, So, anyways, long story short,
So, would you say that's a problem with you or a problem with that girl?
Problem. Everyone else has the problem. I don't have a problem. But
okay.
But so, anyways, I've heard it so many times, and it's been coming up recently. There's been a few things that I won't talk about because it kind of has to do with this show a little bit, but. There's some people that I'm a big asshole. I'm a big fucking asshole. Oh, blah, 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 whatever. I just think everyone's being a fucking bitch. But so recently, I'm just like, fuck it. Fuck it. I've had this mindset recently. Like, if y'all are going to think I'm an asshole, then I might as well just embrace being an asshole. I might as well just embrace. I might as well enjoy it. If everyone's going to think I'm a dick, I might as well enjoy being a dick. Like, fuck it. So the other day, we all go to lunch. Me and two other guys. And we walk into this. It's a fish market. Like, they sell a shitload of fish and crab and oysters and shit. But they also like serve food, kind of like off on the side. They got a few picnic tables and you can get some food. And we go in there and they have crab cakes. And the crab cakes were really good crab cakes. And we've been there like 3 times. They do good crab cakes and they do good salmon chowder. And I know this sounds weird. We were all kind of like, what? Salmon chowder? It was actually fucking delicious. So it's rainy, it's cold. One of the guys like, I want to go get some chowder. I'm like, oh, that does sound good for lunch. Let's go get some fucking chowder. It sounds great. It's cold, it's miserable. Hot cup of chowder sounds great. Then the kid mentions, he's like, dude, I want some crab cakes too. Bam. It's like 11:50. We're about ready to go to lunch. I'm sold. I'm like, crab cakes and fucking chowder sounds delicious right now. Like, fuck, now I'm talking about it. Crab cakes and goddamn chowder sounds great. And right now I want some crab cakes and chowder. So we all excited. We go to this place. We go to this fucking meat market. There's like a 25-year-old girl working the cash register. Another girl over here doing some stuff. And I'm the last in line. And so there's my 2 buddies and one other guy in front of me. And they're all ordering. And I'm kind of like looking at their spices and shit they have for sale, not really paying attention, but I can hear the conversation, and I hear the kid goes to order exactly what I want. We both want the same thing. He's like, I want a cup of chowder and I want 2 crab cakes. And I just hear the girl like, on her little iPad, and she's like, I just can't, sorry, we can't sell the crab cakes. You have to get a basket to get the crab cakes. And the dude's like, well, what's in the and he's like, no. He's like, I don't want a basket. He's like, never mind. Fuck that. I'll just get the deal and I'll go. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, So then 2 people go. Then I get up there and I'm like, what's the deal with these crab cakes? What? She's like, you got to get a basket. So then I'm looking and I look at all the baskets and it's all like you got to get, fish and chips, essentially. Like, you can either get it's essentially all their baskets are fish and chips, cod, whatever, all these different kinds of fried fish. I didn't want fried fish. You know what I mean? That wasn't what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. And I didn't want French fries either. That's not what I wanted. So I don't want the basket. And so I'm like, I can't just get the crab cakes. And she's like, no, you got to get them in a basket. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want a basket though. I just want the crab cakes. Like, just sell me crab cakes. And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't put it in the computer. I'm like, it's like you can't just sell me crab cakes. Like, you guys have the crab.
No, she can't just sell you crab cakes.
Oh,
Oh my
I'm
god!
not, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, give me the chowder. I want the chowder.
Oh.
And then I was looking through the menu, and they have a bagel with salmon, lox, and cream cheese, and capers and shit. And I was like, I do like those. So I was like, I'll fucking forget about the crab cakes. I'm not happy about it, but I'll do the fucking lox with cream cheese. Like, I'll settle with that. She's like, okay. No, I still just like, this is stupid. This is stupid. I can't get the crab cakes. It's just, why? Just put it on the fucking menu. Just put 2 crab cakes on the menu. Like, I didn't say much, but there was definitely, she knew I was irritated. And I definitely said, this is dumb. You realize how dumb this is. Like, you realize this is dumb. Just sell me the crab cakes. Like, why are you hoarding, you're hoarding crab cakes back there? Like, just give me fucking crab cakes. I don't care what you charge me. Charge me, think of what it would be worth, add $5 to that, and then give me fucking the crab cakes. Like, I don't care about the money. Just give me the crab cakes.
Oh yeah.
So
I see what you're saying. Well, that's not on her. That's not her fault. For one. Second of all, I used to work at KFC, and when you just said that, I just remembered there was like a thing on the cash register that you could just push the button and then just say like $5.99, and it would just say like miscellaneous $5.99, and then I could just make them what they wanted, and I just like made the decision on my own.
Exactly. And I honestly think
maybe she can't do
this
that.
isn't a corporate store. This is like a hometown store. I swear to God, if I was talking to the owner of that store, he'd be like, just give him the fucking crab cakes. You know what I mean? I don't care.
Yeah,
make something up.
Probably.
Put in something else and just sell the crab cakes.
Right.
We're here to make
Something-
money.
yeah.
We're not here to say we can't do that. You know what I mean? No. Customer's always right. Fucking sell me the
Yeah.
crab cakes. Whatever. I was just mad. I was like, okay. So then I go out and sit down. I have my bowl of chowder. Eat my chowder. Fucking 5 minutes later, girl comes out and she's like, who had the bagel with lox, cream cheese? I'm like, that's me. She's like, I am so sorry, but we can't do that right now. We don't have, can I get you anything else? I'm like, oh, yes, you can. You can get me some crab cakes. And she's like, we can't. And this is a different girl. And she's like, well, I can't is there anything else you'd want? I'm like, crab cakes? That's what I would like right now. Some crab cakes. And like, I've already explained this to the 2 other guys, and they are like, one of the dudes turns over to the girl. He's like, he's not going to drop the crab cake thing. Like, you might as well just go get him the crab cakes because he's not dropping this crab cake thing. And I'm like laughing. And I know the girl's mad at me. I know everyone's mad at me. But I'm like, if I'm going to be called a dick, I might as well just be a dick. I want the fucking crab cakes. Like, just give me crab cakes. Just give me fucking crab cakes. Especially now that you fucked up 2 different things that I've tried to do in this establishment. I'm trying to give you money, and you won't give me a product. You won't give me product. Take my fucking money. Give me some goddamn crab cakes. Guess what? I got crab cakes. I win. I got chowder. I got crab cakes. And I got my money back. I got free crab cakes, which I didn't even want the free crab cakes. I just wanted crab cakes. They could have saved so much time and money by just selling me crab cakes. And I would have been a happy customer.
Yeah, that's fucking craziness, dude.
I know it's not a political thing, not a topic everyone can get on, but fucking crab cakes. I will get angry over some crab cakes. Crab cakes are very important to me. Crab cakes are very important.
Yeah, I'm very nice to customer service people.
I am until you just start doing dumb shit. And to me, that was dumb shit. Like,
you're right about the owner thing for sure. Yeah, but that's nowhere near a parking lot collision / United Airlines.
no, I know. It was way worse.
Okay.
Way worse.
No, it's not way worse. Fuck that.
Why don't you guys write in and tell me how fucking bad it is to get in a fender bender? Fender benders are not bad.
I don't have a car right now.
Oh.
I don't have a car.
Oh.
No car.
Why don't you have a rental car? That sounds like your problem. When you go to get collision repair done, you say, give me a rental car.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Well, again, that's not the pregnant lady's fault. That's no one's fault but your own. And I bet you're all grumpy. I don't got a car right now. Look how grumpy I am. It would have taken 5 seconds of, can I get a rental car that you're taking my car? You know, well, you have to charge for that. Well, that's not my fault. Here's my insurance company. You guys talk. Fuck it. That's not my problem.
Yeah.
You're taking my car. Give me a goddamn rental car. That's what they're supposed to do.
That's what I got when I got the hail damage fixed. Now I'm carless. Jesus.
Bam. I have Zillow on my list, but I don't even want to talk about it. So
something happened with them and their fucking...
They're selling a bunch of their houses because I guess they're... What we were talking about a while ago, I guess, something didn't go too well with their strategic buying of a bunch of houses, and so now they're selling 8,000 houses for below what they bought it for.
Oh, because their, like, Zillow price was off somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes me a little suspicious that maybe this is part of their power play, because if they in these same markets, if they can now just sell a bunch of the house, they're going to take millions and millions and millions of dollars in hits on 8,000 houses if they're all selling it for below. But if they have another 8,000 houses, they could just drop the market by a bunch more houses. You know what I mean? And just be like, they could weigh that and be like, well, if we could just manipulate the market, actually in 3 years, we can make way more money. So I don't know. I'm still getting a little suspicious over this Zillow company.
Illuminati.
The Illuminati.
I had it on my list last week, and I don't even really care because I don't really even understand what's happening. Just Facebook changing their name to Meta. Very weird.
Yeah.
It makes me hate Mark Zuckerberg more, but apparently it's gonna do wonders for cryptocurrency. So I don't know exactly how to feel about it.
How is there a connection between cryptocurrency and Meta?
Because they're going to basically acquire a bunch of different coins and push them as their coins now. So the prices are going to go way up. Because they're going to be using crypto in a lot of their new endeavors. Because it's all meta. Because it's like, and to think about it, the company Facebook, for the past 10 years has branched off of the website facebook.com, and they've gotten into VR and all. They're a whole conglomerate of fucking things, right? So if you think about it, the name Facebook is kind of a dumb name to have for all those other businesses that they're running, like Oculus and shit. It's kind of weird that it's all owned by Facebook. It's kind of a dumb name when you're getting into crypto and they're getting into all kinds of shit. I mean, they're gonna rule the world. So Facebook's kind of a dumb name for a company that's gonna eventually like rule the world. So but then it's like, is it too late to switch? You kind of switch names of a company when you're trying to rebrand the company, when like something bad's happened to your company, and then you want to rebrand it and get rid of the old thoughts about the old company. I don't know if that really even happened to them, unless you just count the whole testifying in front of Congress and all that bullshit. But
I would say they haven't,
name,
because you just be like, well, so many people are on Facebook. But the new generation does not respect Facebook. It's not right. They fucking hate it. So I think maybe it has something to do with that. Like, they got to get away from the Facebook brand because 18-year-old people think Facebook is for boomers. You know what I mean? They're just like, fuck
But
Facebook.
They like Instagram.
Which was a good buy by Facebook. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Real good buy.
Yeah. It was a buy for like $1 billion. And when I opened Instagram the other day, it said, Instagram by Meta. I'm like, oh my God. By Meta. Okay. I mean, they're going to fast track it to where it's like right now, me and you are sitting in a room together. You know what I mean? Like, they're on the fast track to that shit where you're sitting like ringside at a UFC fight and it's not all glitchy and stupid. It's like that's the next world that we're gonna be into. They're like that's where they're going.
So I saw a whole TikTok and this nerdy kid is explaining this conspiracy theory, I guess, behind Meta, and he's like, it's really weird that they use that name because he's like, there's a book, I can't remember the book now, but there's a science fiction book that's real popular, and he's like, I've read the book, and he's like, it's the name of the company in the book is called Meta, and he's like, it's really weird that they chose Meta because this whole thing's based around Meta, and it's almost exactly what Facebook is. He's like, Meta in this book is about this. Have you heard this? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but I believe it.
But then he's like, yeah, in this book, it's this whole virtual reality world. And everyone lives in this virtual reality world. And they're doing it because the world has become like a big advertisement. And everything's dull and dreary and just everything's an advertisement. You drive down the street and it's just the blah, blah, blah. No one likes their life. So they all go to this VR world. And you can make your character and you set up a character and you live online.
Yeah.
And then he's like, but the book is essentially all about how once the world switches to that, and the guise is to you can live a better life than you actually have in this digital world.
Yeah.
But then what ends up happening in this digital world is it just turns into the same thing where where everyone's classed out, you know what I mean? And you can't get to a certain class unless you have money in the real world, and so it's like it just becomes a catch-22, and everything shitty about the world just transfers over, and it's shitty in that. And I don't know, it's a whole science fiction thing.
Sense.
But he's like, it's just really weird that they would choose that name when there's a book almost perfectly aligned with what's happening, and that company's called Meta.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's very Black Mirror.
Very Black Mirror. Illuminati.
But it's just like Mark Zuckerberg, like.
That dude is a fucking alien. That dude is the weirdest looking dude ever. Why is it that
it's like
all the fucking Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and the Amazon dude, they all look like aliens. They look like not human beings to me, and I don't understand it. Do you not get that?
Well,
I watch Mark Zuckerberg, and I'm like, that looks like what they would cast him in Men in Black as an alien. Like, and I would totally believe that. Just be like,
part of me wants to feel like he used to be like one of us, like a college kid who had an idea.
I mean, they definitely sell it in that movie, but
yeah,
I don't know.
But then now he's just some like power hungry, fucking.
I feel like that movie made him out to be way cooler than he ever was. And that he was just a real douche canoe. Because, I think about that whenever I see his face, I think about that movie, and I think about the origins of Facebook, and everyone and then I'm like, no girl ever looked at that dude and was like, oh, what a dick. You know what I mean? They're like, that dude's a fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? Like, look at that alien-looking motherfucker. Like, I don't know. Like, I just never picture him as cool. And to me, in that movie, they made him out to be cool. That dude was never cool. That dude was a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's like Facebook's just not good enough. Like, you need more. Like, you need more money, more power. Like, wouldn't Facebook just be like, if you owned it, wouldn't that be just good enough for you? But no, you need more and more and more and more. I don't know.
I mean,
Meta.
Meta.
It makes me hate him. It makes me hate him more, but...
I hate Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been sucked back in. I don't know why. I hate it.
Good.
But nothing good comes of Facebook. Ever. I never spend 2 minutes on Facebook and am happy that I'm on Facebook.
Oh, I know.
Ever. So I'm like, why am I doing this? It's an anger factory. That's all it is. It's a judgment and anger factory. You just go through and you're like, I hate that person. I'm jealous of that person. Go fuck your mother. I completely disagree with everything you stand for. Yeah.
It's a data farm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And it's like, I don't know. But I like Elon Musk, though.
I do, but he's still an alien. He's very weird. He is an odd person, and he just has.
And he's the richest man in the world, right?
He seems like people ask him questions, and then he has to like send a beam out to the mothership and make sure he answers it correctly before any words come out of his mouth. Like he has to download the responses.
What would a human say?
And then okay,
would say
yeah,
no.
and then then he says some weird shit. They're like, "Hey, that was kind of odd."
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
Episode 53? 73. 53. What's going on around here? Are we ready to wrap it up? You got more?
I'm done.
I'm done. I'm done too. Well, episode 73. It was great. This was kind of an odd this was an odd one to me. I don't know why. It felt way different than they usually feel. I don't know if that's my fault. It's probably Brad's fault. But
It's my fault.
it's Brad's fault. We love you guys. We hope you have a great week. Yeah, it's been good. Erick and Brad Show at gmail.com. Like, subscribe, help us out. Tell a friend. If you want a sticker, email Brad. He'll, spend a few hours at the post office. He'll have something to complain about. Maybe some pregnant lady will fucking key his car or something, and he'll have a goddamn meltdown.
Fuck that.
Well, we love you guys. Have a good day. Bye.
Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar signs. Try and take it from me. Big time. I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try and take it from me, Big time, number 9. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of